that we had go out had the wrong Zoom. So if you're jumping over from that one, thank you for understanding. Let's see, we are recording. So if you joined halfway through because of the link hiccup, we do apologize and thank you for being here with us. This is really exciting. And so for snow coming, I'm from Minnesota. It's kind of weird to have an event canceled because of snow, but we, wanted to respect everyone's snow day and obviously keep everybody safe. And we have people travel from the other side of the tunnel. And I know the Lesnar Bridge is closed, so this is better. We still have the same great speakers scheduled and the same information, and we still have prizes. The only thing you're missing out on is the Shakeology and the live workout. So we all know that everyone has access to the All Access Pass. So if you're feeling, too warm and you want to warm up even more, crack up when your live workout by yourself afterwards, and maybe you can make your own little video for that. So we won't do like a live workout through Zoom. We just think that would be a little silly. So I'm sorry if you're missing that part of the Super Saturday event. But we're going to go ahead and start off with a prize before we get going. We have some bedazzled Shakeology tank tops that we're going to give away. I think one of them at least. So I'm looking for somebody. And you'll have to chat to let us know who it is unless you want to unmute yourself. We want to reward the newest coach with a little prize. So if you signed up to be a coach, say this year in 2017, we'll start with that. This may be tricky, so I think everyone is on 2 pages. So I don't see any hands up. How about last year in the 4th quarter?
There's some people in the chat.
Yay, we have a September. Okay, so we'll just have you guys chat it. So if somebody can beat September. Sorry, Sandra, you're out. Okay, so Mariana is September. I saw her get really excited.
November.
Boom, Lindsay for the win. All right, can anybody beat November? And that's really exciting. I'm really excited to see like the new coaches here on the event. Super Saturday happens quarterly. It's a wonderful event to attend to get to know other teams and other coaches in the area. I've been a coach for about 4 years. I'm a 1-star diamond currently. And I think I've missed like 2. I was deployed, so I kind of had a good reason. But make it a goal to be at 3 a year. First Super Saturday. Okay, so I think Lindsay with November is the newest. Seems like that's the case. All right, Lindsay, so we will be, you'll be coordinating with Annie. She'll write your name down, and you win a Shakeology tank top. So we do have prizes that will come on a little later, and you'll be automatically put into a drawing because you're here on the Zoom. So don't hang up yet. Otherwise, you'll be out of the hat. But we are going to start with our first speaker. That's going to be our wonderful Jenny. She's a Market Council member. She's a lifetime diamond, and today is her 2-year coach anniversary. And then I think you have a baby's having a birthday today too, right? So I saw something on Facebook, someone else is celebrating 2 years, and her topic is going to be about community. So we're going to pass it over virtually to Jenny, and she will speak.
Yay! Thank you so much, Sally. I hope that my computer doesn't freeze up. I feel like every time something important happens, of course, there's a glitch, but you guys are awesome. Yes, today is my coach anniversary. It's really exciting. I don't have a fancy health transformation to share or a financial transformation, but I've gotten so much more out of Beachbody than I ever imagined. So I just kind of wanted to share that with you guys. Can you see my screen yet? No.
Not yet.
Okay, hold on. Just 1 second.
Here we go. It is starting.
Is that it? Can you see it?
Yep.
Okay, great. So like I said, or like Sally said, today is my 2-year coach anniversary. I stumbled upon this opportunity when I was looking for something to do. I am a mom of a 4-year-old and a 1-year-old, and I needed a hobby. So I went on elance.com and I found the opportunity to be a virtual assistant. And I loved playing on Facebook and Instagram, and that's exactly what somebody wanted me to do. So I got in touch with this girl. Her name was Lindsay from Connecticut, and we just connected. And she paid me to do her social media and update it and make friends for her. And she paid me $10 an hour, but if you've ever done virtual assisting, you never work that much. So I made like pennies, but still it was fun to have a little hobby, have something to do. So after a few months with working with her, I had been trying to lose the baby weight. I was maybe 2 years postpartum, almost at that point, and I'd been trying to lose my baby pudge. So I hope those chats aren't for me because I don't want to open those. Okay, Sally, you'll just have to be like, whoa, pump the brakes. We got to talk to you. Okay, I'm just going to roll so I don't go over my limit. Okay, so she was like, after being friends, she talked to me and she's like, there's a program. It's brand new. It's called 21 Day Fix. It would be perfect for what you want to do and the goals you want to achieve. So I talked to my husband about it. He was like, there's no way. We've got one income. There's no extra money for that. So I said, fine, I'll show you. I'm going to save everything I earn as a virtual assistant, and I'm going to do it, and I'm going to be a coach. So it took me almost 4 months to save my virtual assistant money to become a coach. So that was exactly 2 years ago today. And like I said, I'm still working on the health part, still working on the finance part, but I got so much more out of it. And I didn't even know I needed it until it happened, which was the coolest part. So growing up, is the video in the way? Like, can you see stuff?
We can see you, honey. You're good.
Thanks. Good. Okay, go. So I loved talking to people. I loved socializing. Like, I was the social butterfly. I was very popular, but not in a mean girls kind of way. Like, I could fit in with the in crowd. I could fit in with the out crowd. I'd invite people to come sit with me if they were lonely. I just loved life, and I loved making people laugh. I loved seeing people smile. I just thought it was my life's mission to be everybody's friend. But I didn't realize that that was only what happened at school. Once you became an adult and you graduated, life got in the way. Adulting got in the way. And when you don't see these people every single day and you aren't immersed in these crowds of people and these situations, then you get forgotten and conversations get missed. And friendships just dwindle down, and your status goes from BFF to acquaintance. And it took me a long time to realize that that was normal. And I thought that this amazing life that I had in high school and growing up, because everybody that I knew in high school, I've lived in Norfolk my whole life. We all went to Mary Calcott together. We all went to Northside Middle School together, and then Granby. So I've known all these people 30 some odd years, but I didn't know to expect that these friendships weren't going to be all up in your face for the rest of our lives. So my why dates way back to 2000. When I was a freshman in high school, I met my husband. We were in geometry together. He was a football player. I was the mascot. And we just really hit it off. And there was just something about him. I had a thing for Rufio from Hook. And I was like, you've got a real Rufio vibe here. I'm really digging your style, guy. And so we just really, he's going to kill me for saying that. But we just really, he was my everything. And he was my first boyfriend. And I just wanted to be with him all the time because we were in love. And I didn't have any girlfriends that understood what it was like to be in your first relationship. So it became very clear early on that it was just Daniel and I, that these girlfriends now wanted to do their own thing on their own time and just have girls' time. And that was a really harsh reality. I think that was one of my first harsh lessons about friendship. When you get in a relationship, you lose friends. So then we get married. 7 years later, we have our little luau wedding because he's Hawaiian. And I was the first of my friends to get married. Well, when you're married and your friends aren't, things change. They don't understand. They think you just want to be with your husband and do married couple things. So then I didn't get invited to stuff. I wasn't a part of these things that these girls were experiencing. So then fast forward, the picture on the right, those are my two babies. Leilani is 4 and Makoa just turned 1. And I was the first of my friends to become a mom. And like I said, I'm a stay-at-home mom. So when your season of life becomes motherhood, people just assume all you want to do is be with family. They don't include you in movie night. They don't include you in game night. I lost a lot of friends. I was not invited to weddings. I wasn't invited to birthday parties. I just was not only those postpartum feelings that you get as a mother with the changes in your emotions, but I was having a really hard time adjusting to my lifestyle. I got lonely. I became a hermit. I didn't have many friends. And I, fast forward, stumble upon the opportunity to be a virtual assistant. And that's when pretty much things just kind of changed for me. My upline team is based out of Connecticut and Pennsylvania. I didn't know anybody here that was a coach. I didn't know it even existed. I didn't know anything about a market council, about Super Saturdays. Ironically, my great-grandmother coach is Danielle April, who you guys are going to hear from tonight. And we didn't know that before I signed up. She did my GSR, and I said, you've probably never heard of it, but I'm from Norfolk. And she said, well, I live in Virginia Beach. So my first real experience with a community and with finding a tribe was with Super Saturday. And it is the most exhilarating experience. It's almost overwhelmingly exciting because you're in a room full of people that are just so supportive and that understand this coaching thing that you're doing. They get that you're on social media. They get that you're making friends. They get you. And I have it's these pictures, these are just only a couple pictures because that's all that would fit on the page, but these are just some of the amazing people that I've been able to meet in person. You'll see the Market Council people on the bottom picture. You'll see Brittany Leggett in there. She was just announced top 15. You'll see Sarah Lenore, Laura Mendenhall, Ellie right there in the middle with her baby Faith. She was a girl that I met. Her very first Super Saturday was 2 days after she signed on as a coach, and she traveled from Hampton. And I was so impressed. And that's the drive that we see in people that we meet in this community. It's people that have a passion and that make effort to do these sorts of things, to be a part of something that they never knew even was there. So I had never met Danielle in person before when Summit 2015 came. I didn't even know that Summit was a thing. I just happened to sign up for it 20 days after I signed on as a coach. And I was like, I don't know what it is. I don't know how I'm going to pay for it, how I'll get there, but I will make it happen. It just so happened I got pregnant with my son. I didn't think it was going to work. I didn't think I'd get there. And I talked to Danielle, and I don't even know how we got talking, but she said, just come. You can ride with me and a couple coaches. We got a hotel. You can stay with us. I was like, I don't know. There's going to be so many fit people there. I'm going to be all big and pregnant. I was almost 6 months pregnant. I was like, I'm not going to fit in. No one's going to understand me. No one's going to get me. She's like, stop. You're coming. So what turned into what was a 10-hour drive turned into a 12-hour drive. The girls up in the left corner, that's Amanda and Christy. We had just literally met 5 minutes before they picked me up. I would have never done anything crazy and wild like that in my outside of coaching world. I'd have never got in a car with strangers like that. It was bizarre. But there's such a connection with coaches and with this community that you just feel like family instantly. And it was the time of my life, and it makes me choked up to think about it because it was life-changing. That experience, these girls I still talk to regularly. It was such a motivational experience. I showed up to Summit, and I was not the only pregnant girl. There was like a club of them. We were everywhere. There were people of all sizes. There was a little person with dwarfism. There were people that were morbidly obese, and they were all there to expand their mindsets and get in a great place and be immersed in positivity and optimism. Because I don't know if you guys noticed, but this world is kind of depressing and everybody's in a bad mood. But when you're in this tribe, you're just happy. And it's like there was not a stranger in the bunch. Everyone said hello, hey, how you doing? Where are you from? It was just the most amazing experience. So I made it a point to travel and to do these events and to make these things that Beachbody does a priority. But that didn't mean that my role as a mom had to be sidelined, because we can do it all together. We're moms. If you're a mom on this call, you get it. Our hats go way up. You don't have to take one off to do the other. We can do it all, right? So I've gone to DC a couple of times. Of course, that was before it was part of the Market Council here. Virginia Beach is where it's at, let me tell you. I traveled to go see Bonnie Engel, and I could have easily said, I've got a baby. I can't take a 3-hour ride. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to sit there. I nurse. What am I going to do? I wore him. I had Bonnie Engel up there hugging on him. Danielle helped me out. I left the room to go nurse when I had to. And even Carl had a moment. Carl and Makoa are BFFs now. All because I decided I'm not going to make this separate. I'm not going to put those limitations on myself, because this community has saved me. I needed this tribe. I'm not going to be a hermit. I'm not going to be lonely like that anymore. So this is my direct upline team. This is Team Reborn. It starts with you. You make a team, but you can choose whether or not to immerse yourself in things or to sideline yourself. So I just wanted to put this picture here because none of my downliner in these pictures, well, I take that back, one of them is, but I have a large team and none of them were there. It wasn't a priority for them at that point in their lives. But I wanted to just show the progression of it. In 2005, we only had 9 coaches there, which is amazing. 9 coaches that made it there is amazing. That's 9 lives changed. But just to see the difference in those 40 coaches that were there this past summer, there's something to be said about having a hug from someone that you've only seen through a computer screen, that you've only been able to connect with virtually. So it's to see all those smiling faces, it kind of gets me all warm and fuzzy inside, because it's like I can think of a memory I created with all of those people because I took a chance and I went. 2015, that was the first time I'd ever left my daughter before. We were gone almost a week. 2016, I was nursing my son. That was a whole new experience for me. So I'm sitting in the workshops with a manual pump, just pumping some milk. Like, I'm not going to let this opportunity pass me by because I need this for myself. I need to be a priority in my life for once. I don't want to be lonely anymore, and I need to show my daughter especially that as moms, that doesn't mean that we are no longer an individual. I still am Jenny. I am Jenny first. This is my mother team. This is our Team Rockstar Fit Day. This is almost 500 coaches, I believe. We went and had a training, and you can just see it's not like fake smiles. Those smiles are genuine. Those are happy faces. And I think that something changes in us when we become a coach. We find our passion and we build a tribe and a community, and we just allow the whole experience to just take us over. Those are all very positive and optimistic people. And I still look at my notes from that training that day, and my life, it's never been the same. I was always very happy and optimistic before, but it's intensified like a bazillion times since I've become a coach. So I just wanted to kind of shamelessly plug Summit 2017. It is almost time. The picture on the left, that was Nashville. If you have ever been to Nashville, if you hadn't been to Summit, if you were there, you're in the picture. That is their main street downtown. That's Broadway. We shut it down. Beachbody shut the city down. And there were over 13 blocks of coaches. That's at the Super Saturday workout. You go do a workout on Saturday morning, bright and early. All of the celebrity trainers are there. You're there for a couple hours doing a little bit of each one. But all of those lives were changed. Every single person, I wish you could see their faces, see their sweat. They have been impacted, and they went home and they shared that experience with everybody that they knew. And they announced while we were there that this year coming up is going to be New Orleans. And I know that that can be a kind of scary place to think about, but you're going to be with Beachbody. We are shutting New Orleans down. Bourbon Street is going to be ours. It's going to be no voodoo magic. We're going to have a great time. So I put the link down below for you guys. If you haven't gotten your ticket, I don't know if it's based on wait list right now or if they still have tickets available, but you need to put it on your calendar. July 13th. I want to see Hampton Roads in full effect. How amazing would that be if we had so many of us there that we could make a meetup for ourselves and all get there? So I don't know how I did on time. I kind of was just letting the energy go, but I hope that this kind of hit somebody. I hope somebody was inspired by something. Just let this experience of being a coach. Don't focus on rank. Don't focus on points. Don't focus on money. Allow yourself to make connections and friends, because that's ultimately what it's about. That's where the inside transformation comes from. So thank you guys for making it a priority to be here today, and I hope to see you all at Summit.
Jenny, thank you so much for sharing your story with us. It made me kind of choke up because I can relate to and understand that feeling of being a coach. I'm here in Virginia. Most of my team is in the Midwest. So they're in Minnesota, Ohio, Pennsylvania. And when we get together at these events, we hug and embrace and cry. And we're like, I don't even know you. We do shots of tequila in the airport because that kind of became like our little tradition. And to know that your team has that same thing, it's like, really? People have this? So I know that if you have it and I have it, everybody does. And if you're a brand new coach and you don't feel that yet, attend these events, come to Super Saturday, meet the women who are going to become your support group and your network and lifelong friends, regardless of where your business goes. So thank you so much for taking time to share with us. I hope everybody has the warm and fuzzies. Maybe I do because I'm drinking mimosa, but whatever. All right, so I am pleased to introduce our next speaker, Danielle April. And she is a former labor and delivery nurse. She did that for about 8 years. She's a 3-star diamond, a Success Club All-Star legend, which is really amazing. She's earned the Financial Freedom Award, and she is going to speak to us this afternoon about dreaming, believing, and achieving. So Danielle, take it away.
Hey guys, thank you for having me. I'm super excited to be on this and virtual because of Snowmageddon 2017. I joked with Jenny last night, like, hope we at least have internet. It's been pretty good over here, but we're at the oceanfront, so it's not too bad. I think inland you guys are getting it a little bit more. So I'm super excited to share today my financial success journey. I'm kind of going from the beginning all the way to the end. I'm showing you guys real numbers of what I earned because I really want you to see what it takes and what your growth potential is, and kind of the slow pace that it takes and that it's normal. A lot of people expect money right away. In these businesses, it's long-term growth potential. That's really what we're looking for. And the opportunity in front of us. So I made a little slideshow. So let's go. Let me share. Hold on one second. All right. You guys can see that? Good. All right, here we go. So this is me, Mama Fit for Life, my journey to financial freedom. And before it all began, so I really wanted to start here because this is before Beachbody, like right before. It was about 2 weeks before we were getting married. My husband and I, our original plan was for him to get out of the military, for him to go back for his master's degree, and to go to become a principal or a superintendent or really whatever he wanted to do. But the military life was not our long-term plan when we first got together. About 2 weeks before these beautiful pictures right here, my husband called me one day from work and was like, there's this job. It's super cool. I can dive and I can weld and I can fix things underwater. It's super awesome. And I can go start the training in June. And this was March. And I was like, oh, so we're going to get married and you're going to leave me in June. Okay. That's not what I expected. All right. So this was my first glimpse at the go with the flow and adjust to everything lifestyle. And luckily for me, I do that very, very well. And at the time, I was really trying to transition from the RN world, which I loved, but it just wasn't for me anymore, into the personal training world. I had my certification for 5 years and I really wanted to dive more into it. So I decided to take the leap now that I could come off of full-time RN and go to per diem status. I decided to change things up a little bit. So my dream way before Beachbody existed, and it's kind of funny that I stumbled into this world, but I was really dreaming big way before. I wanted to rock the prenatal fitness industry. I had a huge dream of merging prenatal fitness and my labor and delivery background together. I wanted to be a leading trainer and female entrepreneur. I wanted to have my own gym. I wanted to leave my RN job, and I really wanted to impact the way that women experience pregnancy and labor. I feel like I still haven't really gotten there, but I know that that's still on my dream board. And another one was to decrease gestational diabetes through fitness and nutrition. Obviously, this is a little different than most people's experience with coaching before they get in. Beachbody created this world for people who experience the programs, not necessarily for trainers and medical staff and everything like that. It was really for the support system, which Jenny spot on got right there. Like, that is what this was created for. So in May of 2010, I decided to sign up for the Todd Durkin mentorship. And the big slogan there was ready, fire, aim. And it was like, fire first, fix it later, go for it, just figure it out along the way. Messing up is okay. You will figure it out. And at this mentorship, my entire life path has changed. This is where I met Trina Gray, my upline sponsor. And by meeting her, I was exposed to various things in the training world, and I jumped on board with her corporate fit challenge, which was just a great way for me to get into the fitness industry and have some great tools at my fingertips. Right there, when I got into talking with Trina and some of the trainings that we did, it was other trainers who started to talk about supplements. I had never used supplements. I didn't know anything about them. I was really the fitness side. I didn't really touch the nutrition side, except for giving people guidelines on what I ate, what worked for me, what could work for them, and listening to what they were doing and what they could tweak. So Shakeology kept coming up. And one thing that I really, really try to focus on when I'm talking to customers especially, and even when I was making this list, I was like, I think I'm going to be printing this and sending it to people, being like, answer these questions and then get back to me. You really need to ask yourself questions before starting any supplement. But the biggest thing for me was I really wanted a nutritional change myself. So why would this benefit me personally? At the time, I personally needed a change. So it worked out. The timing was great. Did I do the necessary research? I did. It was super important because of the clients I worked with who were pregnant, who were nursing. That was key. I really needed to know I was selecting the right programs, products, and things like that. Will this benefit my friends, family, and clients? Not a lot of people think about that, but if this is something that's going to benefit me, why wouldn't I want to be telling other people about it? So these are the things that were going through my head. And then why would this not benefit? It's really great to think about those things. For my clientele, that didn't exist. And then have I tried this myself and actually committed? Personally, I believe 30 days straight allows everyone to realize the true benefit of Shakeology, the results, they see that it's worth it. And if they stop it at that point, they'll see what they're missing. So for me, I got results myself. I made a huge change. I replaced my lunch with Shakeology every single day. And then the next question was, why would I not start this today? So I jumped on board. I didn't really ask what the coach life was about. I didn't know anything about it. I was just like, yeah, I'm going to go for it. But that's my personality. Unfortunately, we're not all like me. So we have a lot of people who question it and doubt it. I leap and I'm like, I can always cancel later. I can always change my path. If something's not working, I'll change directions. So I joined Trina and Beachbody. We were dabbling in it. I had a few customers here and there. It wasn't major. I was just starting my prenatal fitness business out in San Diego. I should probably go back because you guys don't need to see this yet. I was just starting my prenatal fitness business. I had about 100 client list. I was working out of labor and delivery, and I was also affiliated with UCSD and Hillcrest with our labor and delivery department, our OB doctors, our midwives, and I was training clients who we were seeing every day and then delivering. It was an amazing, amazing piece of my journey. My dream was literally, I was fulfilling it. I was doing everything that I wanted. There was no piece of my life that I wanted to change. And then my husband went to dive school. And when he went, he told me we could stay in California. And I honestly believed him. And then I believe it was like a week before he graduated, we had to make the decision. And it was California or Virginia. And it was a really hard decision. And it actually was in our hands. So we could have stayed in California. But I put someone else's life and priorities above mine. There was another couple who had been in California long term. And I thought, why not Virginia? Let's try it. If we don't like it, we'll head back to California. And we moved. The big move was horrible. I was kicking and screaming. I wanted nothing to do with it. I mean, we were teetering on the fence of moving the entire time. I just did not like what was going on. And I had my whole dream life was literally right in my hands. And I was like letting it go just to give someone else's dream, my husband, a chance. And this whole time, Beachbody was just in the back burner. I wasn't doing a lot with it. I was just helping a few friends. This wasn't something that was full-time. It wasn't something I even saw as full-time. I really did not, I really didn't know the potential in it. And when I had gotten started just a year earlier, that's just when Trina started to open the doors to her Beachbody world as well. So she just started dabbling in it too. So it wasn't like everything was created yet. We just had 2 flavors of Shakeology. Trainings didn't exist. Challenge packs didn't exist. It was like the baby of this business. So here we are moving. I'm very upset. I'm not happy with my husband. I don't want to be in Virginia. I'm living in the past. I just want my old life back. Like I would do anything for it. So there are the moving boxes. We had an amazing cross-country trip. I look at this picture right here of the Grand Canyon, and do you know what I think of? We had a huge argument right before that picture. And I looked at my husband and said, just take a freaking picture. And we did. And like, that's what I see in that picture. That's not what anyone else sees, but those are the memories. The top picture, I was at my wedding, my sister's wedding in August. I had gotten into phenomenal shape. I was going to a boot camp in San Diego, running my own business, doing Shakeology. Things were good. So it was a big change. And while I really do adapt well to change, I didn't want it. So it was time to take another chance. In 2011, I had to make a move and go for it. You really want to set your fears aside and take action. Here I was kicking and screaming and really delaying the inevitable. It was happening. We were literally moving across country, and all I was doing was like crying and moaning about it. When you're ready to make a change, reach out to your friends, your mentors, leaders for support. Surround yourself with those you dream to become. Keep a positive mindset. Believe no matter what, I'll fix that, who else believes you, no matter who else believes you. And year 1 with Beachbody, I earned $1,500 at an Emerald rank. So I wasn't really doing a lot, but I reached out to Trina. I asked my husband, I said, listen, since we're moving and I'm not really happy about it, and I heard the East Coast nursing world is like horrid, can I just take a chance with Beachbody? Can you give me a little time? Let me see what I can do with it. And he was like, all right, fine. Now, here's the thing. A lot of people struggle to live on one income. I really take pride in my ability to save and to adapt. We let go of a lot by going down to one income. For instance, things like we didn't have fancy cars. We didn't have cable. I got rid of cable the first time he deployed, and I never got it back. We used Netflix. I always look at my bills to see what I can adjust or what can be edited and stuff like that. It was very simple. We didn't go out to eat a lot. I pretty much yelled at him every time he bought a coffee from Dunkin' Donuts. I was that wife, because it was the little things. And it was those little things that added up that didn't seem like a lot, but that really made a difference in me being able to do this and not having to go back to work. This was pre-kids. I didn't have a child yet. But we did talk about if we had children in the military life that I would stay at home. So December of 2011, I got pregnant. And then I was like, all right, I'm going to be a mom. So that's cool. Like, I won't kick and scream anymore. Like, that's just going to be my thing. I'm going to be a mom. Like, I'll figure this out. So right before having Elevie, I got the opportunity to take a travel nursing job. They pay very, very well. So I said, you know what? We'll just have a little cushion for the baby. I'll go back to work for a little bit, just those 3 months. And then from there, I'll do the Beachbody thing. What I didn't realize is how much of a setback it would do to my Beachbody business, because I was so busy. I was working 14-hour shifts while pregnant at a crazy, ridiculously busy hospital. It was absurd. And I had no time for the Beachbody business. So I fell off track there. So all that momentum I had, all of that growth that I had, I totally let go for 3 months. And it was good money, but it was like, dang, what could I have done if I just would have, focused a little bit more? So here we are, 2012, baby's coming. I took the travel nurse job. It set me back. My daughter was born in September 8th of 2012. My husband deployed October 5th of 2012 for 6 months. We literally drove him up to Dover, Delaware to put him on a plane to leave. It was a chaotic year. It was the year Sandy hit. My parents were with me for 2 months. Then Sandy hit their house. They had 2 feet of water. They had to go back up to Jersey. I was going up there for the holidays. It was a crazy, crazy year, but we adapted and we had fun. And it was really my time. My husband was away. I had a baby, which I was comfortable with because I was a labor and delivery nurse for so long. So the new mom thing didn't really stir me. It was like Toddlerville that really kicked my butt. But the new baby thing, that was my norm. I knew what to do, so I was comfortable. And I said, this is my time. Like, this is my chance that I can do this. So December of 2012, I hit Diamond. After 2 years of being an Emerald coach, I hit Diamond. I was so excited. And in that second year of coaching, I earned $3,679.78. That was a 145% increase from 2011. Now, a lot of people look at $3,679 and say, I can't leave my job for that, Danielle. But I look at 145% freaking increase from the year before. That's how much I grew my business in 1 year. And at that point, I was just working with customers. I got to Diamond, but it was discount coaches. It was my loyal Shakeology lovers. I was not like a Diamond with all these emeralds under me. It was simple. My one emerald was my coach Maria, and my other emerald was my mom's business, which I ran. So it was like I had one emerald. So that was where we ended in 2012. 2013 is where it all kicked off. It was my year of growth. So I wanted to share a few things about what I did to launch my business that first year. I was a mom. I worked in between Elevie's schedule and everything like that. But the biggest thing that worked for me, I launched a free challenge group for 8 women. 8 of my customers who had regularly gotten Shakeology from me. I put them in a group and I said, take a chance with me. You can add people. Let's have fun with it. Let's see where this goes. I created a point system to track and reward participation. I encouraged members to invite friends along, all for free. I put in way more time and energy than I would get back. I rocked that group. I loved every second of it, and I never looked at what I was making. I simply had fun and enjoyed what I was doing, and I believed because of my experiences at Summit, because of Super Saturdays, because of other people's success stories, that if I just committed and continued to believe and kept my head down and focused on what my mission was, that I was going to succeed too. We had 88 people by the end of February, which I thought was freaking amazing. And 90% of that growth was from everyone else. I put only a few people in there. Everyone else added. So those were all these referrals that eventually some became coaches, some became continuous customers. It was an amazing, amazing experience. 2013, I launched Coach Basics Beta Test Group. This was literally the launching year of our coach training. I was right there. Myself, Trina, Vita Lafata, and Sarah Morrison all created Rock the Basics, which was our Coach Basics training. There were 6 teams out of the entire Team Beachbody network that did the beta groups, and we were one of them. I changed from a customer focus to a team building focus in late summer. So when it was time to do that beta test, I decided to really reach out to our discount coaches and say, hey, do you want to see what this is about? Let's test this together. I really think you would be great at this. Let's see what happens. And they rocked it. I held my diamond rank for the entire year consistently. I committed to my team in all aspects. And I had a big marital change and struggle in September of 2013. That was right when coach training was starting. The reason I share that is that I literally called Trina and said, there is no way I can do this training. There is no way I can coach other people and keep them positive and lead them if I'm like failing at this marriage thing and like I'm struggling so hardcore. There's no way. And she looked at me and she said, Danielle, you need this more than ever. You need this positive outlet. You need this lifestyle. Don't give this up, because this is the one thing that's going to keep your head above water. This is the one thing that's good in your life. If you give that up, you're going to bury yourself. And I was like, okay, all right. Okay, I'll figure this out. We'll do it. So that year I earned $18,805 as a diamond. I calculated the percentage. I guess I didn't put it on there. I'm not following my notes. But it's a good percentage. I think it was like 400% or something like that. So it was a lot of growth. Still not a full-time income. For some it might be, but there was so much that had changed in 2013. There were so many roadblocks that I pushed through that so many coaches deal with also. And because of these roadblocks, I now have a better way of talking to my coaches when they're going through the same thing and saying, this was my experience. This is what I did. And this worked for me. And this is other people's experiences. And it didn't work for them. And they buried themselves because they let go of the only things that were working for them to focus on the one thing that wasn't. And I could have went all in and focused on my marriage and been like, hey, this isn't working, let me fix it. But it was the most negative piece of my life at the time. And my husband was consistently deploying. So what was I going to work on? An empty room by myself with a baby. So I changed my direction a little bit. 2014, let's do this thing. I had a struggling marriage and my focus was on mom and coach life. My husband was gone all the time. Coach Basics was rocking and rolling. I committed to leading every single month, levels 1, 2, and 3. I was all in. Sometimes I slept 3 to 5 hours a night. It was quite often. I'm a night owl, so it's something I can function on. It's not a long-term thing. I literally sleep 7+ hours a night now. But for a CEO building a business anywhere else, that's realistic. It's not long-term, but when you're building, it's something that is going to happen if you really want this to work. I was a solid product of the product. I had gotten down to 10 pounds below my pre-pregnancy weight. And you guys saw my pre-pregnant. That was in that blue dress. Like, I was in phenomenal shape. So I was doing amazing. My new focus was carryover volume and my coach leaders. So in the beginning of 2014, I was doing really well. Coach Basics was going really well, but I didn't really get the coach thing. I reached out to Trina and I was like, I don't get this coach thing. Like, how are coaches better than customers? I don't really understand it. And she brought me to my coach online office. We looked at the carryover volume and I had 312,000 point volume sitting there. And then she told me about the 200 to 100 ratio. If you guys are brand new and you don't know about that, that's totally normal. This was 3 years into my business that I was asking about this. I wasn't ready before. It was too much before. It would have been too overwhelming before. When I was ready is when it counted the most. From there, I was able to put my focus onto my coaches on my weak leg. I was able to reach out to them specifically and say, hey, who wants this business? What are your goals? What do you want from it? And really work with those people specifically. I hit 1-star diamond by May of that year after sitting at diamond for 2 years. It's really hard sometimes. Wait, 2 years, 1 year. 2012, a year and a half. But still, it's really hard sometimes when you're putting in all this time and energy and you're not seeing the rank change, you're seeing a little income change, you're not really at full time. A lot of people focus on the wrong things. And for me, I really feel like a lot of it was taking initiative, taking action, and putting my focus on the things that really mattered most for the long-term success. In 2014, I earned $64,540 as a one-star diamond. It was a 350% income increase. Again. Now, the income isn't always the same. I have coaches at one star that aren't even breaking $20,000. So I don't want you to see this and say like, okay, that's where I'll be at. What I want you to hear is everything that went into it. I had the struggles. I had the bumps in the road. Nothing got in my way. I was committed and I knew what I wanted and I had to keep going for it. Oh boy, here's the next slide. 2015, the year I'd rather forget. I separated from my husband. He moved out right before Thanksgiving of 2014. We had to split time with my daughter. Things were really crazy. I was quiet. I was shut down. I was depressed. I was struggling. It wasn't me at all. I was drinking a lot, and people who know me, I don't drink alcohol, like zip. And I did not mean Shaco. Like it was not in a good way. I took a huge step back rather than rocking the coach life. When we were separating, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have all this time and I'm totally gonna like blow this thing out of the water. I did not do that. I went in the reverse. I really changed directions and I just couldn't get past the fact that I was failing at my marriage. It was one piece of my life, but it was probably one of the first times that I literally failed. Like this was failing. It was not going in a good direction. There was no changing it. I didn't know how to lead others when I felt like I was failing everywhere. 2015 turnaround. Around May or June, I went to Adam and I said, this isn't working. We're still arguing. I feel like this is harder than when we were married. I don't think we gave it enough time. Let's take a chance and just figure out what we can do. I didn't feel positive about it, but I felt like it was the direction it needed to take. I didn't think we would have a successful marriage, but I felt like it was the direction we had to take. So I gave it another shot. I stopped leading Coach Basics after 2 straight years of leading the training. Adam deployed again, but it gave us time to work things out in a new way. And he lived outside of the house for 1.5 years because he moved his stuff back in right before he deployed. And then he deployed for 6 months. So when he moved back in, that was about 1.5 years of us not living together. In 2015, I earned $99,000. It was a 50% income increase. And I can honestly tell you, I'm going to tell you my personal goal for 2015 was $240,000. And I know that seems big, but in a year that I took a total hit personally and had to totally revamp my business, take a step back and only focus on the necessities, hitting Success Club, coaching the coaches that were willing and things like that. I'm happy with where I ended that year, but I saw so much more for myself. I saw so much more for my team. I felt like I let them down and I felt like I had failed a lot of them because if I wasn't growing, they likely weren't growing either. And it was a big struggle. 2016 was another new adventure. Adam was still deployed January to April, but it was super exciting. I got him to commit to Hammer and Chisel. I have always had a dream of us doing this business together. I have been pushing so hard for it, and I was pushing against a solid brick wall. He committed to personal development as well. Who doesn't want their husband to do that? It was like a huge win. I was like, just start with this compound effect book and see where it takes you. And he's a reader. So he was like, okay. So he read. And I'm not a reader. I'm an Audible person. So I was like, oh, I've got it on Audible. And he's like, I really like to read. I'm like, okay, I'll send you the book. And from there, I just said, hey, just start reading stuff that focuses on your life, like marriage. I don't know, things we need to work on. And he did. And he picked his own personal development. But I actually made it a requirement for him to move back in the house. And for some people, maybe they're like, ugh. But I was like, we were really struggling. And we were finally in a good place. And I knew because of this world how much personal development meant. And I knew what it did for him in the past, like for a month. And I knew what it would do for him just to believe in himself and be confident. And on those days that I'm like in Bitch Fest 101, Crazyville, like whatever woman, that he can handle it and not go crazy. So he really dove in. Rocked Hammer and Chisel. I mean, his results, my husband is a CB diver. He has been a college athlete. He has literally worked out his entire life. He is the person that people are like, yep, you're my first pick, when they're picking teams. He has never gotten the results that he's gotten physically until committing to the Beachbody programs, which I wish he would shout from the rooftops. He doesn't, but he's getting better at it. But his Navy contract was going to be up October of 2016. I had 10 months to convince him. on my side was that things were really changing at his workplace. He wasn't really happy anymore. The leadership was changing. The people he was working with were changing. They were swapping people from East Coast to West Coast. It just wasn't his ideal anymore. I had 10 months to replace my RN income and his active duty income. You saw my income from last year, so I was really, really close. And I knew I could do it. I hit 3-star in March of 2016, and it was so exciting. I didn't hold it very long. It was for 3 months, but it was so exciting to finally get there. And I ended the year right at $120,000. And my goal was $120,000 because that was literally replacing my income and Adam's income. In October 13th of 2016, Adam got out of active duty military and he went reserves. Now, I couldn't convince him not to do reserves. He wants the pension. He wants all that stuff. I'm like, corporate America, government, I don't want any of it. But he does. So I was like, I can handle the reserve life. I can do that. So he has his little reserve and we get our medical coverage from it. So it works there, but he is out. And I just want to show this. This is our life now. This is our fall. This is our freedom, our traveling, we went up to New Jersey and Boston for Christmas. We didn't ask for time off. We didn't have to say to anyone, hey, this is where we're going. We didn't have to have him on call. Like if something happened in the world that he might be pulled last second, he came with me to Beaver Creek for our Diamond Leadership Retreat with our Team Rockstar Fit team. This is, I can't remember where this is. I think this is Summit at the hotel. Yeah, this is Summit at the big hotel that on a little gondola ride thing. And that was before he got out, but he was still committed to it. So the years have been interesting and it's been a roller coaster. It's been up and down and our marriage is back on track.
People, just like that roller coaster. I do want to add that Beachbody, we are, we have to give the income statement that Beachbody does not guarantee any level of success or income from the Team Beachbody coach opportunity. Danielle's income obviously is a reflection of her own efforts, her diligence, and her skill. And so your own income will depend on that as well. You can look at the statement of independent coach earnings in the back office and see the most recent information on the average of incomes for all the coaches in the different levels. But Danielle, what a story to just kind of hear. And it gives me the chills because it's like, wow, okay, there's a lot of possibilities out there for me. And I'm resting at 1-star diamond and my income is not where yours has been. And so it's encouraging to me and I hope it's encouraging to other coaches that are here watching the live Zoom and kind of can relate to that. And when the going gets tough, you just got to keep going, right? And so you definitely didn't let the things in life that happen get the best of you. And if anything, it kind of fueled you. So thank you for taking the time to share that with us.
Thank you.
It's like a financial transformation story for your life. And it's so cool to see you and your husband home with your kids. So thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome.
So our next speaker is Karen Overby, and she is going to share a little bit about a physical transformation with us and what she can. So Karen, the floor is yours, dear.
Thank you. Like she said, my name is Karen Overby. I'm a lifetime Emerald coach. Haven't been really doing the business, but I have been doing the workouts. I'm going to start off by saying I'm almost 32 and I'm in much better shape than when I was in high school. Don't look it. I was a swimmer in high school. I was in theater, but I actually am working out more and I'm stronger than I ever was. So I'm going to start off by saying that I'm a mother of 2. My weight started really getting heavy when my first daughter was born. I got to 260 pounds, which for me was horrendous. Being a firefighter, you don't want to be that heavy. You want to be muscle, not fat. And I was fat. I lost a little bit of weight after she was born. It took me about 5 years to get it off. Then I got pregnant with my second daughter, Trinity, and I got up to 270 something pounds with her. And I mean, I was so unhappy. And I got back down to about 240 after she was born. And I just hovered. I couldn't do anything no matter what I tried. It wasn't happening. So I decided to go back to Beachbody workouts because like I said, I mean, I wasn't doing Shakeology as much as I wanted to. I wasn't working out. I was always so tired. I was exhausted. So I went back to Beachbody workouts, and I got back down to, 210. Last year, I ballooned back up. I got back to 230 just because of my husband and I were fighting, and I was just really, really depressed. And so in June, I think it was July of last year, when size was being last year, not this past year, size was being released. My husband, we took our kids to my in-laws' house. My husband ended up being deployed, and then the size workout got released on Beachbody On Demand. And Annie can tell you right now, I'm not a dancer. I hate dancing with a passion. You will never see me doing Zumba. You will never see me doing any of that. I did You Got This just because I wanted to, or just to try it out. And the next day I signed up for the size certification at Summit. And it was great. That one instance changed everything for me. And like I said, I still hate dancing, but you see me doing size all the time. And I go to Summit by myself. Like I said, my kids are in San Antonio. My husband is on the other side of the world. And I get there early. I'm in a house with a bunch of people. I have no idea who they are, but all of us somehow signed up for the size certification. We get there at 4:00 in the morning. We're in the front. Like literally, if I just reached out, I could touch Shanti. That's how close we were to that. And it was amazing, the energy and the excitement and everything. So I got size certified that day, and I ended up leaving Summit early. I was homesick. My husband had just told me that he was leaving the Philippines for Diego Garcia. So I really got upset, and I ended up driving to San Antonio, saw my kids, drove home, and I'm in Newport News. So that's a long, long drive by yourself. And, it was that time by myself between Summit and when I got my girls back was just amazing. I got back on the Shakeology. I did size every day. I went from 230 pounds to 204 pounds in just over a month. And it was insane. And now, I'm still doing it. I'm actually added Core de Force because I really love MMA style stuff. So I'm doing size. I'm doing Core de Force. I'm at 192 pounds, which is awesome. I had a little setback this past couple of months. My husband and family and I moved because we lost our house. We got foreclosed on, and which is a big reason why I'm starting to get back into Beachbody. But we got foreclosed on. We're in a smaller apartment, eating out all the time, getting depressed. So I got back to 205, but now I'm down back to in the 190s. So I'm really excited about that. And I'm really, really hoping that my goal is to be 130 pounds by Summit this year. And I think that the more consistent I am in doing it, I know I can achieve that goal. But one thing that I'm most proud about is not my weight loss, it's my girls. A couple of days ago, I saw online that they were doing the registration for the Semper 5, which is brought by the Marine Corps Marathon. And I've been running in the Marine Corps Marathon series for the last 2 years. So I saw that they were doing the Semper 5, which is a 5 mile. Instead of a 5K or a 10K, they consolidated into a 5 mile. Brought it up to my husband, and he said, oh, yeah, let's do it. Okay. So I called my mom up, and I'm like, well, can you take the girls? It's in May. Avalon, my oldest, she's like, no, I don't want to go to Nana's. Well, then where are you going to go? I want to run it with you. Seriously? You want to run a 5 mile with me when you don't even want to run a 1 mile? I want to run it with you, Mommy. Okay. So the last couple of weeks, we started going to the gym and running on the treadmills. A couple of days ago, and I posted this on Instagram, she's starting to do quarter force. Like all of a sudden, she just turns on quarter force and starts doing it. Granted, I have to correct her form because she's 9, but she's doing it. And I've been struggling for years to inspire them to be more active. Avalon was a gymnast up until about 2 years ago, when I had to pull her because we couldn't afford it anymore. She's gotten lazy and complacent. Now she wants to do this. And that's what I find the most inspiring, not my weight loss, but what I can bring to my daughters and to my husband and, even to my mom and my dad, and that's what I want. I hope that when I start building my business back up, that's what I can do. But I'm going to try and show you these real quick. I don't know if I can screen share or not, but I want to show you where I started and where I'm at now. So let me do this. Stop. Okay. Can you guys see those? Okay. So this one right here, that was me at Summit. That was at the size certification. I mean, everybody was so excited, or they're not so excited, but they're like, you are so into it and this, that, and the other. That's me at one of my most depressing, but most, vulnerable. And I had to do that. That's me now. That's me because of quarter force and because of size and all of that, all those things. And then this one, if I can get it over, went to a Beachbody event right after Trinity was born. That was me at 270 pounds. And now this one is me about a month ago. That's me at just under 200 pounds. So that is my story, and that's what Beachbody has brought to me. I started out an insanity girl. I'm insanity certified, fell in love with size, and then I just want more. And now that it's back with me, it's now transferring to my daughters and transferring to the people closest to me. And I think that's what you really want to get out of not just being a coach, but of life, is to inspire others. And now I'm rambling on. So thank you for letting me share. And I really appreciate the opportunity. So thank you.
Karen, thank you so much for sharing your story. It's awesome. I took a screenshot of your photos. So I hope that you're comfortable with those being on social media. Let me know if you're like, no, don't do that.
I can send them to you if you want.
I personally am not a mother, but I love when I see mothers in our organization of coaches who use their children as their reason to be healthy and to take time to do workouts and to take time to read a book and to take time to go to these seminars instead of, I can't work out because my kids are home. What? Yeah. I don't understand. So thank you for being that voice for mothers who are doing that. And I'm tearing too. So thank you very much. Your transformation is absolutely amazing. You've put smiles on all of our faces. We are going to do a couple prizes. So ladies, thank you for being here. Are there any men on the call? I keep referring to ladies, but I don't think I see any guys. We got Chicks Esteban. We got a guy there. There we go. Hey. Okay, so sorry. So ladies and gentlemen, because there's one, we're going to do a prize. So Stephanie is going to, what she's been doing is dropping all of our names in a hat. She's going to randomly draw them. So that's why we said it was only going to go to the people on the Zoom. So if you're watching the recording, snooze, you lose, baby. But Stephanie, unmute yourself, girly.
Hold on. Oh, you can hear me. Yes.
I can hear you now.
Yes. Thank you, Erica, because I was trying to figure out where my button was. So, just an FYI, if you are a winner, contact one of us in the Facebook group. Send us a message with your mailing address, because that's how it's going to go down today. So the first prize is Elizabeth. Hold on, let me find her name. Elizabeth, where are you? There's only one Elizabeth on the call. Right? Yes, only one Elizabeth. So Elizabeth, you got this super cute little let me take a selfie. And this
Is that
really
Elizabeth
cute
Langley?
journal.
Ooh,
Yes.
That's super cute.
Okay, so that's for you, Elizabeth. And then we have Carla White, I believe. And Carla White, you actually get to choose this one because I don't know what size will fit you better. So we have either the T25 t-shirt, it is a extra small, which if it doesn't fit you, it's good for challengers. Or we have a nice, cute little sports bra. This is a medium. Right? Let me check. It's a medium. Medium. Yes, a medium. So, Carla, let me know which size will fit you, and I will send you, or which one you want, and we'll send you that. And the next prize is actually a Shakeology tank top that one of our other Market Council members, Annie Day, has. Pink one. She has it in all sizes, as far as I remember. And that's going to be to Susan. Susan, you are the winner of a Shakeology tank top.
Yay!
So those are our three prizes for today. Let me repeat. All right, we have Elizabeth, Carla, and Susan. So make sure that you send us your mailing information so we can get that stuff to you. Yes, Susan, that's you. That's you, Susan. You're the only Susan on the call, so yay! You have to let us know what size you want, though, Susan. And also, Carla, you need to let us know which shirt. All right? Yay!
Thanks, Stephanie. All right, so congratulations to the prize winners. That's one of the fun things to do at like the live Super Saturdays. So we were really happy to be able to still give away cool stuff because people like cool stuff. So our last speaker before we do the video from corporate is Annie Day. She is a 2-star diamond coach. She's been a coach for 7 years with Beachbody. And her father did taxes, and so it's kind of been in the family, all the family secrets passed down. She's going to give a couple to us. But she recently took an intense tax course, and so she's going to share tax break tips, things you can deduct as a business owner through Beachbody. She's not going to talk about how to file your taxes. You're actually going to have to figure out how to do that on your own. But these tips are going to be really helpful. So make sure you have a pen and paper handy. And then after Annie speaks, we'll launch into the corporate video. So Annie, there you go.
Hey guys, really excited to be able to share with you, and thank you everyone for sharing your stories because they do bring tears to your eyes. And I think being a coach, one of the greatest parts of being a coach is being able to help other people. So I'm just going to talk to you today about your home-based business and how being a Beachbody coach really has some great benefits tax-wise, because The average American family spends 33% of their income on taxes, and so we don't want to have to do that. So when you became a Beachbody coach, you became the CEO of your own company. And what that means is, as you earn income through Beachbody, if you earn over $600 a year as a Beachbody coach, you will receive a 1099 from Beachbody, and you will have to file taxes on the income that you have earned. Being a Beachbody coach and having a home-based business gives you some of the greatest benefits. And again, like Sally shared, I'm not going to share with you how to file your own taxes, because you need to find your own person to do taxes for you. If you like doing them, you can do them yourself. I do mine myself. I've been doing them for quite a few years, but you need to make sure that whoever you are using as your tax consultant knows all the benefits that you can get from being a Beachbody coach or for having your own home-based business. One of the first benefits is actually having your home office. You can deduct all of your business supplies. You can deduct even things like, you know, if you're going to buy a new desk or a new filing cabinet or a new computer, if you're using those for your Beachbody business, and it doesn't even have to be 100%, you can depreciate those things. And that word depreciate might be scary because you might not really understand what it all means, but you can take a big deduction for those things that you're using for your business. One of the greatest parts of having your business in your home is if you're taking a space, and like I'll just use myself as an example. We have 8 rooms in our home, that's not including the bathrooms. One room is my office. That room is all my office. There's nothing else I do in here but my business. And so I can take 1/8 of my mortgage payment, 1/8 of my electricity, 1/8 of my real estate taxes, and so on. The things that the amount of money that you're spending in the home, I get to take 1/8 of that as deductions when I'm doing my taxes. So there's so many deductions with having a home business. Another great one is your vehicle. There's 2 ways that you can deduct your vehicle. You can use either mileage, and it's really important to keep good records, but you can take a straight amount, and I think this year it's 54 cents a mile, or you can itemize, and even though it's easier to do mileage, sometimes the benefit by doing an itemized, like the expenses of your car, you know, your insurance, all of the things that it takes to keep your car going, can actually end up being bigger. So you really have to keep good records. And, you know, even though maybe last year you didn't keep the best records, this is January, and now this is a great time. There are lots of apps on our phone now for mileage. And if you want to do it the old-fashioned way, you can put a little book inside your car, and each time you're going somewhere and you're doing something that has to do with your business, you can write that mileage down. Another one is travel. We get to travel a lot in Beachbody, and we get to deduct all of those expenses. And if you are traveling somewhere and you know that you're going to speak with someone about Beachbody in that course of travel, then you can deduct that trip. So basically, it can't be you got somewhere, like we went on a cruise last year. And while I was on the cruise, we sat with a group of 8, and I never stopped talking about Beachbody. So 2 of those people became my customers, which was wonderful, but I didn't specifically talk to them before I went on the cruise. So I couldn't deduct my cruise as an expense. If I would have known them before and I would have gone on that trip, I could have done that. But if you're traveling and you know you're going somewhere, reach out to somebody, send them an email, let them know that you want to talk to them about Beachbody or about Shakeology, and then that can be deducted. So those are just a few of the deductions, and I don't want to spend any more time, but I just want you to know that you have such a benefit with your business. And if you have any questions, please friend me on Facebook. Please send me any questions that you might have. I'm also going to do a few videos in the next couple of months, because this is the time that we're going to be preparing our taxes. that will help you and go into more detail on all those expenses. So I hope that helps you just a little bit, and back to Sally.
Awesome, Annie. Thank you so much. Okay, so before we do the corporate video, sorry, I have like this weird thing where I have to sit Indian style when I'm speaking and then my leg is going numb. But so before we share the video, I just wanted to see if anybody had any questions for Annie, for Danielle, for Jenny, for Karen, for me, for any of the Market Council members, that we can answer for you really quickly. We're doing really, really good on time. Typically, the Super Saturday event goes from 2 to 5, and since we're at home, we do want to honor the snow day and give you time to go play or drink or do laundry, whatever it is that you have to do on a snow day. But if there's any questions, don't all unmute yourselves at once. Go ahead and unmute yourself, and we'll kind of pick over who's speaking and see. Somebody had a question about the free group. So Sandra, I'm going to go ahead and say unmute yourself and ask your question, and then hopefully Danielle can answer that for you.
Hi. Yes, Danielle. So we were wondering if we could have more information about that free group you ran. It sounded like it was over several months because you said the number after the end of February. So I wasn't sure how long it ran and how you built that group.
Sure. So I actually, we didn't have the apps back then. So I don't know what kind of apps we had then. It was a Facebook group, and it was closed. So people could see it, but they couldn't see what was going on in it. I, see a lot of people that don't want people to know they're in weight loss groups. And I think it was like Coach Griffin's Challengers, because that's my original screen name was Coach Griffin. And we did everything in the Facebook group. I had it for the entire year. I technically still have the group. So I do reach out to those people. I don't actively work the group right now, but I did hold it for an entire year and beyond. And then I touch base with those people like, hey, where are you at? Are you needing some change? How are things going? And it's just a great place for me to remind myself, who was there and who got started and things like that. And the point system, I can definitely share with them, or I can add it to the slideshow as well. So you guys have that access. But they got points for doing their workout. At the time, logging your workout in Team Beachbody was actually important for coaches to earn Success Club. So I actually had them logging their workout. And if they logged at least 5 workouts for the week, they got 5 extra bonus points for it. So every week I would let them know who was in the top, like who was at the highest score, where they were at, so they knew who they were competing against. They got points for sharing recipes. I just made up the point system. I was just like, hey, these are things I want them to be doing, so these are things they should get points for. And then I would randomly throw out prizes. Whoever posts a sweaty selfie today and gets the most likes will earn a DVD. And I had 2 people, and I cheered them both on, and I kept tagging and, getting people to vote. And some of my new challengers had like 100 likes, and they're like, I didn't even know I had 100 friends, So it just was very like motivating, inspiring. It was all on Facebook, that group.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And Sandra, I'm not sure how long you've been a coach. If you want to post in the Hampton Roads Coach Network page that we have, I'm sure that Danielle has something she can share. I have templates I can share for 7-day free clean eating groups that I do. I've also done 30-day free clean eating groups. And just like Danielle, I invite everyone in the group to invite their network to the group, so that way it gives you exposure to new people that you wouldn't have the opportunity to meet or work with otherwise.
Yeah, and that's actually a really great point, because I had no theme to the group. So it was just daily motivation. And the people who posted about Shakeology and stuff, they did get points if they were on Shakeology Home Direct, but it wasn't the private groups, like the 7-day and 30-day and stuff, I did separate. So I would post like, hey, if anyone wants something a little bit more in depth, a little bit more private, then this group is starting on this date. So that was something that I did different. It was just like a daily motivation thing. So that's actually a great point.
Awesome. All right. Does anyone have another question? If you want to go ahead and either unmute yourself and ask, or put it in the chat, and then I'll invite you to unmute yourself and ask anyways.
Actually, for Annie, do you have a checklist? Like as a travel nurse, I had a checklist for the taxes. so I can run down, like, my scrubs were a write-off, you know, like, and I would just go down that checklist. Do you have a text checklist for your Beachbody coaches that you?
I don't have one made up because I usually go from a book, but I actually can do that because I'd like to do that. So I'll get that done this week and then I'll put it in the group.
Awesome. Thank you.
Jillian asks the name of the group. So I'm sure we can get some coaches to post the link in chat for the Hampton Roads Coach Network. That way, if anyone found us, I know that some of us shared the link for our live Zoom in our other coach uplines and downlines. So maybe you're on the Zoom and you're not even in Hampton Roads and you want to join the group to get a hold of the goodies. Awesome. Join us. So we'll hope that someone will post a link. All right. Any other questions? Yay, Marina, you win. Kudos for posting the link. Thank you. So that's our group. We do have a like page. Let's see. So no other questions. We can have the corporate video play. I just want to make sure that if somebody has a question for Danielle or one of the other speakers, but that's good if there aren't any. Okay, so thank you for joining us. We will do a recap at the end of the corporate video, but we do understand if you have to leave, go ahead and do that. The video from corporate usually lasts about 30 to 40 minutes, but we'll do another Q&A at the end for those who kind of stick around. Awesome. So I think Stephanie or Erica, you're going to play the video for us. And yes, someone says it's nice virtually meeting you all. This has really been a fun event. We hope to not have to do one like this again. We can be in person, but we wanted to take it and rock with it and make sure you all had the content. All right, another awesome video by corporate. So let's see, Stephanie's gonna unshare that. Lots of good stuff coming out. So hopefully you gals and guy were able to take good notes on everything. Does anyone have any questions or anything they'd like to add at all after the corporate video? I see lots of heads shaking. Let me go to page 1 just to make sure. No questions. Okay, so as I think I saw, it was like skipping out a little bit. I think the next Super Saturday is April 8th, if I saw correctly. I'm not going to confirm with my calendar, but on or around there. So we'll start launching information about that. If there's anyone here that wants to get involved with the Market Council, please reach out to me or any of the other people that you see making the posts in the Hampton Roads coach page. I see that we had a couple new requests to join the group, so that's really exciting. That's really like the hub for the Hampton Roads coach area. So we are going to share all the information as we're planning these events, looking for help. I know that there's a couple meetups that are in the works, one on the other side of the tunnel, one on this side of the tunnel. So if you want to get involved with getting to know other coaches in the areas, we're working on that. The April 8th Super Saturday will be a traditional Super Saturday at the hotel that we've attended. And then we have something really fun coming up for August. We can't say anything yet, but just know that it's going to be different. It's going to be unlike any Super Saturday you've ever heard of or attended. It won't be in a hotel room. I promise you that. So that's really fun. We're excited to start planning that. So enjoy your snow day. Thanks for hanging out. Market Council members, am I forgetting anything before I let everyone leave? I think we're good. We are good. So what an awesome event. Thanks for coming to hang out with us. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye, everyone. And if you want Snapchats, I was Snapchatting.
Group photo.
I took screenshots of this, but we can all kind of hang out and smile if we want to do some other group photos.
Let's do one where we're not making derp face.
Okay. So everybody smile. Denise, where are you? I see your fan. All right. Lose, you lose. Okay, now hold on. I have to go to page 2. That's such a cool problem to have, right? Page 2. All right, everyone on page 2, smile. And I'm smiling with you, even though I can't see myself. I will post these to the Hampton Roads coach page. So if you're not there, I don't know what to tell you. They're on my wall if you couldn't find them. But have a great day. And if everyone would think that, like, this is something we'd like to do for training. I know that we probably all have like team trainings. I know there was a couple people who were like, we should do this more often. I think we could do like a monthly Hampton Roads coach training thing. I think that's something that the Market Culture members and I could talk about. But if people are thumbs up for that, let us know in the coach page. Like, let us know what you're needing. If you're not getting upline support and you need it from local coaches, heck, like that's not going to hurt anything. That's going to help everybody. So that I see Jenny smiling and Erica's like, yeah. So I'm happy they're doing that because we didn't talk about that. But woohoo! All right, you guys are going to have to hang up. Otherwise, I could sit here and chit chat all day.